Hi, so finally found my little stand, and so as we prepare for the day of Chai Elul, which is the 18th of Elul, I look back on last year. I had a little farbrengen at someone's house. I mean, her name is Rivka Levy. I would say that at this point, I do not consider in any way, shape, or form a role model. I watched how her deeds were really less than below acceptability. But I wanted to share, so it was also like more of a collaboration. I'm not sharing her teachings, I'm sharing collaborative teaching. She did share a few things. So first of all, if you want to cut someone off, you'll spend your life looking for it. That's what the Rebbe says. The Lubavitcher Rebbe says, you cut that person off, you're going to spend your life looking for that, because God sends you everyone who's God's supposed to send you. And also every child needs what the names of the Shvatim are. So for example, Reuven to be seen, Shimon to be heard, Levi to feel connected, Yehuda to feel that others are grateful for them. So we could look at their name, or we could also look at like the 12 tribes and realize that each one has something that everyone needs. And it's because their names, like Re'u means to see, Shema means to hear, Lev means Leva means to connect, Yehuda means Hoda, like gratitude. And the Alter Rebbe, who this is the holiday because it's his birthday and also the founder of Chassidus. So founder of Chassidus birthday and founder of Chabad birthday. It's like a spiritual grandfather, and they had the same birthday. Then we have Reishis Hakal Sheyismach Adam. The first thing is to be happy. The first of everything is for a person to be happy. Attitude is with us, regardless of our company or location. Our attitude, we could be happy only in this company, only in this place, then we're not really happy. So it's our attitude that has to be happy. And the Rebbe, Lubavitcher Rebbe, so there was the Baal Shem Tov, the Maggid of Mizrich was his successor, and then you have the initial, his student, but really like they were both connected, the Baal Shem Tov and the Alter Rebbe, through the Maggid though as his teacher. It happens to be that he was the founder of Chabad. So we have Chabad Chassidic, specifically both of them combined. So then we had the Alter Rebbe was the first of the Chabad rabbis. Then you have the seventh being the Lubavitcher Rebbe, the most recent one. So he says the advice to women who are mothers or wives: enhance the environment, a positive attitude, make it bright, make it light, make it like with attention to detail, make it a beautiful place where you could honor your family and your guests with this design and coordination, and basically make the effort. Make it feel good to be there. That's it, saying like make it like a lovely dwelling place. And then one more teaching I want to share from that farbrengen, which is like that gathering to inspire each other and to connect and become empowered and connect in a chabad and Chassidic kind of way. Chassidic is based on the word chesed, which is to expansion, loving kindness, and that's the literal meaning. And then we obviously there's like a culture to it. And then we have Chabad, which is Chachma Bina Das, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and this is also like a culture to it. So when you squeeze an apple juice comes out. When it's an orange juice comes out. With a lemon juice comes out. So we think what's inside comes out. We can't blame others for what we release. And then I want to share a few things. So first of all, in how the word Eshel, which is kind of like where do we learn the word Eshel? Is from Avraham, the forefather of the Jews, also the Muslims and the Christians. But basically, he teaches us what it means to have a guest. Eshel, Avram planted an Eshel in Beersheba. That's from Bereshis, Genesis 21:33, and we got this from him because we all contain the seeds of the Eshel. The Eshel is like this tree, this refuge that he would serve people. So he gave them food, drink, and a place to sleep. Achila, Shatia, and Lina. And others say, it's from Jewish commentaries, others say it's Levaya, which means to escort. So whether it's sleep or escorting, the acronym is Eshel. And that's what we mean to be a refuge for people, travelers, people on their way. I also want to share some poems. This is by Octavio Paz. This is from A Tale of Two Gardens in the collected poems. No one ends at himself. Each one is an all, in another one. The other is contained in the one. The one is another. We are constellations. I'm going to read it one more time. No one ends at himself. Each one is an all. In another all. In another one. The other is contained in the one. The one is another, an other. We are constellations. A second poem I want to share from Collected Poems is Altar. Your name and my name, in your name, my name, one to another, against the other, around another, one and the other, unnamed. And I'll read that again. Your name and my name, in your name, my name, one to another, against the other, around another, one and the other, unnamed. And then from A Tale of Two Gardens and Collected Poems, another part of it, their apparitions open, another space in space, another time in time. I'll read it again. The apparitions open, another space in time, another space in space, another time in time. And I want to also share how basically this other. So I did a practice with someone. His name is Eliezer, and he took some notes on my words. And I also want to share, like, in terms of our pattern. So our other, what do we look at? And the other, we see pattern. We fill in the blank. That's what we project, the pattern. So I look at inherited pattern. So I'll do that first, and I'll share with his notes on what I shared. So overpraise, flattery as a way to demonstrate subservience and submission to the other person. I'm not saying inherited only from my parents. This is societal, communal, even a religion, tradition. Finish everything on the plate or on the dish. Do more when someone is watching rather than when just God is watching, when there's no eyes observing. Not walking away from confrontation, instead expressing dissatisfaction, dominance, or condemning. Basically, not just allowing people to be upset or letting others be the winner. Judging my humanity, whether this is morning breath, appetite for food, or snoring, the pleasure or feelings around desire, needing rest or alone time. So we could say when we do an honest accounting of ourselves, we could recognize that, obviously we have these patterns we inherited. And then we could understand why some people might take. So this is how I came across it. His name is Eliezer Kokin. This is how I came across him with my words, what I expressed to him. This is what he reflected back to me. That people, or in general Jews, at some point I felt, he was saying, I was thinking that people couldn't grasp my level of challenge or recognize my ordeal, couldn't appreciate the level of protection I brought to the Jewish people by what I went through, connect to my service, and their humanity is not at the place yet to be able to know. While some people are trustworthy for this, some others for that, some at this time, some at that time. In general, people are doing autopilot. He felt that I was telling him that he was projecting mistrust, saying, I don't trust people, but it was him not trusting people, and filling in a blank, like he thinks, he was saying to me that you think that people don't, basically, you think people don't trust me, is his choice, and it's not that I think people don't trust me, or that I don't trust people. Rather, could say Hashem loves you, Shana. You're pleasing Hashem because you're Hashem's will. Whatever you do is His will. Instead of projecting that I don't trust Hashem, Hashem isn't proud of me, or basically needing to pack everything into a small container of an idea, a familiar idea. This shows a lack of desire to learn or grow or change, which is understandable due to change, or someone's like an earth sign, they're heavier, more grounded in their patterns. But it prevents us from having an experience broader than what you already know, and from connecting with someone who's not wearing that familiar costume. We might be struggling in trusting people that I might struggle, or you might struggle in trusting that people that they love me will make me believe by projection, needing them to wear that costume so I can interact, that the other is going through that with it. I want to say that again. struggling and trusting people that they love me will make me believe by projection that the other is going through that and needing them to wear that costume so I can interact with it. So I need someone to not love me or to not be trustworthy or whatever so that I can interact with that costume. We can do a thought experiment though. This is what I was sharing with him. He's reflecting back my ideas. A thought experiment that what it's like to be Esther from the Torah, from the root of mother who sacrifices everything. Esther is the story of the heroine at the time of Purim. You can read Megillas Esther in the Torah online in English. She doesn't get the credit from her husband or her kids because no one could appreciate for who she really is and what she did. She revolved around them, like a mother sacrifices everything no one could appreciate. When the husband she becomes a wife, she becomes a mother. They didn't know what she was before that. So she revolves around them, feeds them, serves them every possible platform, not just food, like nurturing them. I mean, what it's like to give everything, not need to be understood, and recognizing also being aware that one cannot blossom or grow if they have to stay stuck by incoming assumptions rather than by incoming questions. Questions are open-ended. So this idea that like Esther was like the mother of the Jewish people, like she gave up everything, she gave up the man she loved, she became like the bride to this man that she really didn't want to be with just to save everyone, her nation. I think of me, Shayna, not getting clear signals from Hashem. I didn't want to, exile the version of me that needs credit from Hashem in order to be in relationship. And thinking of like kings and prophets, have I sinned or upset you, Hashem? I said, daven for me, for yourself, for everyone who feels disconnected from Hashem. It represents a version of you. I said I was struggling with validation, and it doesn't mean I don't trust the Jewish people, rather that they can't connect with my service. And during the avodah, the service space, I need Hashem to tell me I'm doing the right thing so I could continue with my humanity. It's not compared to anyone else's mother or children who may be becoming mothers or mothers in waiting. And sharing from a place where it's not exactly what you think it is doesn't mean I think no one can love me because my parents didn't love me. So in other words, there's a new version of me. Like you could see there's a transition. And also like there's the we, that we can create to the creator, the validation, the validator. We have the ability versus being affected by them. We can be ready to give up our portion in the world to come and save someone. That's like the idea of the founder of Chassidus was the Baal Shem Tov. Basically, you don't need your portion in the world to come. Just save someone. That is the world to come, the future. So the new version of me where I'm lovable, I don't need people to love me to do what's right. I'm so good. I don't need people to know that. Just being and doing good. The issue is, people aren't going to love me. People are going to hurt me. Replaying that childhood trauma. So I visited spiritually oriented countries and cultures of elevated practitioners who don't just do good for the credit, but rather as godly beings. I felt that maybe the Jewish energy was like they didn't seem to fully shed the national intergenerational trauma of not needing credit. To be ready to give it away for the portion of the world to come. I didn't want to, but if I had to, basically I was saying I wanted my portion of the world to come, like my credit, but again I gave it all away for everyone just for the sake of the world. And in order to make everything worth nothing in terms of merit and reward, they don't like talking about this or in these terms. Like people to say like, could they have done it like just because it was the right thing to do. And in terms of wanting a sign that everything I'm doing is worth something, like is it really going to help the future or others, to spend energy elsewhere or somewhere else instead. And so I want to stop here, like just this idea of how he helped me to develop some of these ideas, but that really I'm like representing not just the Jewish people, but really people in general that struggle with like needing credit and wanting validation, wanting a witness, wanting a sign that what I'm doing really matters and is meaningful and makes a difference. And so I'm going to stop here. Have a great evening. All the best. Bye.